was a young mom with a newborn at home and was going absolutely stir crazy. And while I was paying my insurance, my agent picked up the phone to take a call and told the person on the phone, "I can't afford to pay anyone, but thanks for calling." And I looked at him and I said,
I have a question for you, and I'm going to dive right into it. How is your dog doing these days? Because I know he's joined us recently. Tell us about your dog. He's like an unofficial office mascot.
She is. My dog Autumn, she's my crazy pit bull, and she got diagnosed with cancer at the end of last year. And thankfully, THC's been allowing me to bring her in the office occasionally so I can spend some extra time with her for what little we have left. So it's been a really good thing. She gets along great.
So just one dog right now, or do you have multiple dogs?
I have 2 dogs.
Okay. What's your other dog's name?
Other dog is Sasha. She's a German short-haired pointer, and she's crazy.
Okay. Any other animals that you guys have at the house?
Yes. Well, grandchildren probably don't count, but we also do have a cat. And his name is Griffin. He's an orange tomcat and runs the house.
Okay. Did you know the Baughman house currently has a rabbit?
Yes, I'd heard that. Your kids are gaga about it.
Oh my. Well, we were just interviewing Jen Powell who does Farm and Ranch, and she's excited about an irrigation system being put in her house later this spring. Outside of work, what types of things does Dawn Skelton enjoy doing?
Oh my goodness. My husband and I are whiskey connoisseurs, so we do like to travel a bit and experience some different whiskeys and go to tastings and things like that. We're also blues fans musically, and we travel pretty widely to pick up blues concerts. We see a lot of local acts here in Boise, and we've also gone, we saw Clapton in St. Louis and Joe Bonamassa in Salt Lake, things like that.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun.
I did not know about the whiskey or the blues. You guys ever been to Kentucky?
I actually have. My sister lived there for a while, Pembroke, Kentucky.
Okay. How did you find your way into the insurance business?
Totally by accident. I walked in to pay my insurance, and at the time I was a young mom with a newborn at home and was going absolutely stir crazy. And while I was paying my insurance, my agent picked up the phone to take a call and told the person on the phone, "I can't afford to pay anyone, but thanks for calling." And I looked at him and I said, "How does minimum wage sound?" And he hired me. I never made minimum wage, and I worked for him for 3.5 years, and that was my start.
Wow. One of the things that people reflecting on their careers are thankful for are mentors. And I have a theory that rather than like one mentor, sometimes we have multiple kind of micro mentors. Who would you look back on in your career and be thankful for from a mentoring perspective?
My first boss, Gene, he was amazing. He taught me a lot about myself, my personality, and made me have a lot more confidence in what I might be able to take on. I've also enjoyed several other mentors along the way, either supervisors or agency principals that had faith in me and let me run with the ball and get things done. Learned a lot that way.
Tell me more about the mentors you've had in your insurance career.
Oh, one of my favorites is James Fullenwider. He was at All American Insurance. He was the agency principal. And I actually worked for him twice. And once he had to let me go because of health stuff that was going on. And then several years later, I reached out because I'd heard they had an opening, and immediately he was on the phone getting me in for an interview. He wanted me back. And we had long discussions of where he wanted to go with the agency and how he wanted things done. And he gave me a lot of free rein so long as the things were going in the right direction. And had a lot of faith in me. He turned over some of his most high-profile clients and put them in my hands and made me feel like that was something I could actually do. And I grew a lot during that time in my confidence and my knowledge and my abilities to take care of the client.
When I think of James Fullenwider, I think of 2 things. Number one, he's always going to be the best dressed guy in the room because he had great style. But I also remember thinking that he was an agent that people just respected.
Absolutely. There were folks that would refer business to James, and people were so confident that it would be handled. It was amazing. He was very fortunate that way, that he had that kind of resonance with people.
If you had to look at your career, what type of lessons have you learned that you feel like have really stuck with you and have become a part of who you are professionally?
Systems are really important. It's crucial to have workflows and processes so that you know what each step is along the way. It's really easy in this job to get swarmed with details, but it's also critical that we do keep track of a lot of details. So having systems in place to protect yourself and the agency is huge. And not only that, but you have to have a very human element of curiosity. If you're not curious, you're not going to ask the questions. You're not going to get to know the clients and their needs and how to help them evaluate and manage the risks they take on as business owners.
That's true. So when you think about all the producers you've worked with throughout the years, there's one that comes to mind who I think is probably the most organized guy, and that would be Marty Koch.
I don't know that I would have said it that way.
Maybe the most fun.
Yes. Marty is a ton of fun.
And I can only roast people on here that are dear friends and who mean a lot to our family. So, what would you say is your favorite part of your job currently?
Presenting a product to the client that I know meets their needs. When I know I've nailed it, I've got covered the things they were concerned about to the best of our ability. I've gotten competitive pricing, great carriers and service. When I can hand that client that policy knowing that if they call me tomorrow, it's going to be okay.
I sense that you have, and I've seen this, a lot of pride in the work that you do for the agency. If you were going to talk to somebody who is considering working for Hartwell, what would you tell them about the agency?
The effort put forth by management to make sure that we have a positive work environment. It's a very supportive environment, encourages education, encourages curiosity about products and people and growth on a professional level and a personal level. I'm not going to say that our company is perfect, but their heart's in the right place and they work so hard to move forward in the right direction.
Tell me how you first heard about the ESOP and what the ESOP means to you as an employee owner.
First heard about it from Tracy. Most of us have heard about it from Tracy. When we were going through the hiring process, she was very enthusiastic about the ESOP and the opportunity that afforded to the employee owners. And that got me excited about it too.
If we were, if someone's watching this video on LinkedIn thinking, what is an employee-owned agency and why should I care? What would you tell them if it was just the two of you talking? In like a 30-second overview, what would you tell that person?
I think that a well-run ESOP is an ideal retirement tool to fund your retirement. Not only are we responsible for the improvement and increase in value to the overall ESOP, but it also gives me some extra comfort level knowing that all the employees are seeing that and understanding that, so that we're all kind of rowing the ship in the right direction to make sure that everyone does well.
Okay. Dawn, when you think of insurance carriers that we've partnered with over the years, who comes to mind as a quality carrier for our agency?
Oh, Cincinnati jumps right to the front. I was actually really excited when I was being interviewed for the post here. And when I found out that we were appointed with Cincinnati, I'd always wanted to write with Cincinnati. They have such a deep understanding of contractors and the exposures, and the service is top-notch. Right now, we've got a marketing rep, Jen Babbitt, that's amazing. She works so hard to place everything she can as competitively as she can, and her knowledge base is huge. I really enjoy working with Jen in Cincinnati.
Shout out to Jen Powell. I saw Jen come on as our rep and really take the bull by the horns She's been a great partner to our agency. And Cincinnati's been a great partner for decades.
Absolutely.
You've had the opportunity to work with iCrimp, and our agency has benefited greatly from working with them. Tell us about how long you've been working with iCrimp and what your experience has been like.
Oh, wow. I've probably been working with iCrimp for 15, 18 years, something like that. It's definitely a different insurance product, a different mindset about insurance than the standard carriers have. But I've really enjoyed building relationships with the people at iCrimp. Justin Nyquist is the new underwriting manager, and he's been really good to work with. Knowledgeable, helpful, responsive, all the good things.
I mean, their team, of course, you've got Tim leading the pack, you've got Sandy, who's been invaluable, and now we got Justin. The only thing I'll be disappointed with Justin on, though, is if he doesn't grow that mullet back, because his mullet game was so strong. Even
Bad.
Yeah, Justin, that mullet, baby, top notch. I, as a guy who can't grow a mullet, I'd have to grow a skullet. I can respect a strong mullet game. Dawn, if you had to describe Hartwell and kind of what we're focusing on, how would you give an overview of the agency?
Oh, the Hartwell, they've been around a long time, 50 plus years. And I really believe that the whole community is aware of and appreciates the Hartwell. We, as an agency, we're mainly commercial insurance focused. We actually have teams put together that specialize in certain niches, like the agricultural lines for our farms and ranches and dairies. We've also got an A&E team, the architects and engineers, that's all they do. So they know that stuff in and out. We've got specialists in construction and contracting, as well as municipalities. We've got a really wide range, but it's a really deep bullpen as well. There's a lot of knowledge and skill in the agency. It's a good place to work. They've had an ESOP running for, I'm going to misspeak somewhere along the way, but it's well established, and people are already starting to retire and reap those benefits. So it's got a really good mix of people. We've got people of all ages and backgrounds, and we all work together really well.
Amen. 25 years coming up on the ESOP soon. Going to celebrate that.